If you're a brass musician, you've definitely heard the word red rot at some point or another. What is red rot, what causes it, and how can we prevent something like that from happening? And here's a hint. The mechanism that causes cavities in your mouths is the same mechanism that causes red rot in your brass instrument. So let's talk about that. Hello everybody, my name is Andy Hoang and I am going to be your brass instructor for this video. Red rot is classified as the dezinkification of your brass instrument, which simply means that the zinc in your brass instrument is slowly going away, giving rise to copper. It can look like orange deposits on your brass instrument, it can look like bubbles under the metal, and in the worst case, it can look like literal holes being pinned through your instrument. By the sounds of it, it's not a very good thing that you want on your brass instrument. We're going to talk about how to prevent something like that. But first, let's talk about what causes it. So it's no secret that your mouth is full of bacteria. There are billions and billions and billions of bacteria that live within your mouth. This isn't a bad thing, but these bacteria love to feed on sugar. That's important. When you are eating sugary foods or starchy foods like bread, anything with sugar like candy, the bacteria in your mouth are having a field day. They're essentially feeding off of the sugar and fermenting it into acid, which lowers the natural pH of your mouth. Your mouth's pH should be pretty neutral, and when you eat sugars, it significantly lowers that amount into acid. Blowing that into your brass instrument is not going to be a fun time for your brass instrument. Your brass instrument, like your teeth, are susceptible to acid. When you have a bunch of acid floating around in your mouth from eating all that sugar, as you may know, from maybe personal experience, you get cavities. Imagine cavities in your trumpet or your brass instrument. It's the same idea. Your brass instrument is made out of two substances, copper and zinc. Brass is a metal alloy, which means it's made up of different metals, and it's not something you can find on the periodic table. Zinc is naturally a lot more susceptible to acid degradation than copper is, which means that when you are blowing acidic saliva caused by unwashed, sugar, that will eat through the zinc and cause the copper to start coming through, which is why red rot is called red rot, because copper is, well, red. When you blow into your brass instrument, the way that your air enters is straight from the lead pipe, right? Which means that the lead pipe is the area on your instrument that is the most susceptible to red rot. This is why you may have seen brass instruments where the lead pipe is a darker color than the rest of the horn. The horn might be a brighter brass and the lead pipe might be orange. That's because some manufacturers are intentionally putting more copper in the lead pipe because they know that red rot is an issue, and more copper means less degradation due to acidic saliva. So how do we prevent something like red rot from happening? It's not very hard, it's actually very simple. First, follow the rule of never eat sugary or starchy foods while you're playing your instrument. I see it happen a lot, even in college, but especially in high school and middle school settings where students are eating snacks while rehearsing, practicing, or performing. And if you're not actively drinking water and washing out the acidic saliva that's in your mouth, that saliva is going to go right into your instrument and start ripping holes, and it doesn't take very long before the damage can start to be seen. And if you have at any time before playing your brass instrument, make sure you're drinking water and rinsing your mouth out to get that saliva out of your mouth and refresh the neutral saliva in your mouth so that you can blow into your brass instrument without having to worry. Another really good practice is to empty your spit often. These spit valves, they fill up really fast and really easily, and any brass musician knows that you're constantly having to go through multiple rounds of emptying it, which is a good thing because when the saliva is stuck here all at the bottom and it's acidic, this will get eaten at. So by constantly making sure that your spit valve is empty before you finish playing, after a rehearsal, that makes sure that this instrument stays dry and stays in good shape. Moral of the story, drink plenty of water while you're playing this instrument. Don't be eating sugary foods while you're playing it. If you do, then rinse your mouth and empty your spit often, frequently, and after you finish playing for the day before you store this thing. That's all from me today, everybody. I will see you in the next one where we are going to talk about cleaning your brass instrument. Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe.